Let me ask you something. If the most powerful empires in history collapsed, not because of invasion, not because of war, but because of slow internal decay, would you even notice it while it's happening? Because here's the scary truth. Empires don't die loudly. They die quietly. Everything still looks normal. The money still works. The army still looks strong. People still believe the system is permanent. Until one day, it isn't. This exact pattern destroyed Spain, then Britain, then the Soviet Union. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Today, we're going to walk through it slowly, clearly, and simply, starting with the first global superpower, Spain. Spain, the first global superpower. In the late 1500s, Spain was unstoppable. They controlled half the world's gold and silver. Their army dominated Europe. Their currency was accepted everywhere. Spain believed it was untouchable. Stage 1. Military overextension. Spain didn't lose power because it was weak. It lost power because it tried to be powerful everywhere at the same time. Think of it like this. Imagine someone earning a very high salary. But instead of supporting one household, they try to support 5 houses, 4 families, and 10 businesses all at once. That's what Spain did. Spain was fighting wars. In Europe, France, Italy. In the Mediterranean, Ottoman Empire. In the Netherlands, rebellions. In England, naval wars. In the Americas. In Asia, Philippines. For continents. Simultaneously, half of Spain's total income went to the military. And even that wasn't enough. Here's the key idea. An empire can afford anything, but not everything. Spain believed constant military strength equals permanent power. But armies don't create wealth. They only consume it. Modern example. A country running massive global military operations while its roads, factories, and people are underfunded. On the surface, it looks strong. Underneath, it's bleeding money. But here's the real question. If armies only consume, if they don't produce wealth, if they slowly drain the future, why did Spain keep building larger and larger armies? Why didn't they stop and say, let's invest in roads, factories, skills, and people, and only defend what truly matters? First, let me give you the short answer, then we'll break it down slowly. Spain did not choose large armies because they were productive. Spain used large armies because their empire forced them to. Once you become a global empire, defense is no longer enough. You must constantly attack, suppress, and intimidate, or the empire falls apart. Now let's unpack why that trap is unavoidable. Empire is not a business. It's a security nightmare. Spain wasn't just protecting its borders. Spain had to protect gold and silver ships crossing oceans. If this isn't clear yet, don't worry. I'll explain it step by step. Just stay with me. First, let's understand something important. What exactly were these gold and silver ships? Spain's wealth did not come from Spain itself. It came from silver mines in Mexico and Peru, gold from the Americas. That metal had to be physically moved to Spain. No banks, no digital money, no wire transfers. Real ships, carrying real treasure. Imagine ships literally filled with silver bars crossing the ocean. Why was that dangerous? The Atlantic Ocean was like a global highway full of thieves. Everyone knew Spain's ships are full of gold and silver. So who wanted them? Pirates. Enemy countries, England, France, Netherlands. Privateers, legal pirates hired by governments. If a ship was captured, Spain lost money. Soldiers went unpaid. War stopped. The empire weakened instantly. One lost fleet could bankrupt the government. So what did Spain have to do? Spain couldn't just hope for the best. They had to send armed warships with treasure ships, build naval bases across oceans, station soldiers at ports, patrol sea routes constantly, fight naval wars far from home. This protection cost enormous money every year. Let's make this simple with a modern example. Something everyone can relate to. Imagine you earn money in another country. You must carry bags of cash home every month. The road is full of robbers. You now need armed guards, convoys, safe houses, backup routes. Soon, Protecting the money costs almost as much as earning it. That's exactly what happened to Spain. And now we finally answer the big question. Why did Spain use massive armies that only consumed instead of producing wealth? Why didn't they just invest in defense alone? Suppress rebellions in colonies. Fight rival empires, France, England, Ottomans, Dutch. Defend trade routes, ports, and sea lanes. Enforce authority over people who didn't want Spanish rule. That requires permanent military presence everywhere. A normal country defends borders. An empire must police the world. And policing doesn't produce wealth, it only burns it. Why only defense was impossible? Viewers often think, why didn't Spain just defend itself and stop fighting? Because the moment Spain stopped fighting, colonies would revolt, rivals would seize trade routes, silver shipments would be attacked, allies would switch sides. The empire's reputation of fear would vanish. Empires survive on perceived invincibility. Once enemies sense weakness, attacks multiply. So Spain had to fight wars even when they couldn't afford them, maintain armies even during bankruptcy, spend more each year just to look strong. This is called imperial momentum. Once it starts, you can't slow down without collapse. The deep lesson is, empires don't collapse because they spend too much on defense. They collapse because defense replaces production. The moment a system spends more to protect wealth than to create wealth, uses force instead of competitiveness, relies on fear instead of value, collapse becomes inevitable. Now here's the big question. How do you even feed such enormous, sprawling armies? Here comes Stage 2, currency debasement. Once Spain ran out of tax money, it faced a choice. 1. Could Spain just cut back on spending? Not a chance. Their riches depended on protecting the silver and gold coming in from the Americas. 2. Sure, Spain could raise taxes, but every extra coin risked pushing the population to rebellion. 3. Or they could do it secretly, reduce the value of their money without anyone noticing, at least at first. Spain chose option 3. Silver coins were supposed to be pure silver. Instead, the government started mixing in copper. The coin looked the same, had the same stamp, had the same number written on it, but it was worth less. That's currency debasement. Let me explain by giving a simple example. Imagine a very small world. There are only 2 people, and together they own $100 total. Each person has $50. A loaf of bread costs $10. Both people can easily afford bread. Money feels valuable. Prices are stable. Now the government has a problem. It needs more money, but doesn't want to admit it. So it chooses option 3. It doesn't print new dollars openly. Instead, it changes what a dollar is made of. Suddenly, without producing more food, more bread, or more goods, there are now 4 people, and each one has $50. On paper, everyone still has real dollars. The bills look the same color, same number, same stamp, but something changed. Now 4 people are chasing the same amount of bread that only fed 2 before. What happens next? The price of bread doesn't stay at $10. It rises to $20. No one feels richer. Everyone feels poorer. Not because bread changed, not because people became lazy, but because the value of the dollar was diluted. That's currency debasement. Spain did the exact same thing. Silver coins were supposed to be pure silver. Instead, the government mixed in copper. More coins entered the system. More people appeared rich, but the economy didn't grow. Production didn't increase. Only the number of claims on wealth increased. So prices exploded. The illusion worked briefly. Then reality took over. That's the danger of debasing money. You don't create wealth. You just divide the same pie into thinner and thinner slices, until no one feels full anymore. People didn't notice at first, but prices started rising. Merchants demanded more coins for the same goods. Inflation exploded. Modern comparison. Printing more money without increasing real production. Your salary number goes up, but groceries, rent, and fuel go up faster. The illusion of wealth. The reality of loss. But wait, think about this. If everyone figures it out, what do you do next? Here's where the story takes a turn. Stage 3, debt spiral. Once debasement failed, Spain borrowed, then borrowed more, then borrowed again. Spain borrowed from Italian bankers, German bankers, anyone willing to lend. Here's the trap. Spain borrowed to pay for yesterday's wars, not to build tomorrow's economy. Eventually, it couldn't pay, so Spain defaulted, then promised reforms, then borrowed again, for bankruptcies in 40 years. This is the definition of a debt spiral, borrowing money not to grow, but to survive. Modern comparison, using one credit card to pay another credit card. You're not solving the problem, you're delaying it. Stage 4, loss of production. The quiet death of an empire. This stage didn't destroy Spain with fire or war. It destroyed Spain with comfort. Spain was sitting on mountains of silver. Ships arrived every year loaded with treasure. Money was everywhere. And slowly, almost invisibly, something dangerous happened. Spain stopped making things. Let's break that down simply. 1. Easy money kills motivation. When silver was pouring in, Spain didn't need to work. Why grow food when you can buy it from abroad? Why build ships when other countries sell better ones? Why invent machines when money solves everything? At first, this felt smart. But over time, Spain forgot how to produce. This is like someone living off a rich inheritance. At first, life is great, but skills fade. Discipline disappears. And when the money slows, there's nothing underneath. 2. Work became low status. This is the part most people miss. In Spain, working with your hands became shameful. Farmers were looked down on. Craftsmen were ignored. Merchants had no prestige. The nobility believed real power meant owning wealth, not creating it. So the smartest people didn't become builders or inventors. They became courtiers, soldiers, or administrators, jobs that consumed wealth instead of creating it. That mindset rotted the economy from the inside. 3. Production slowly died. Because of this attitude, factories closed. Farms became inefficient. New technology didn't emerge. Other countries like the Netherlands and England were building ships, machines, and trade networks. Spain was shopping. Silver came in, goods went out, and Spain kept nothing. This is what economists call a middleman economy. Money passes through, but value isn't created at home. 4. The dangerous illusion was, as long as silver ships kept arriving, everything looked fine. The markets were full. The elites were rich. The empire looked powerful. But it was an illusion, because Spain's economy was no longer standing on skills, labor, or innovation. It was standing on incoming money. And that's the most fragile foundation there is. 5. When the money slowed, reality hit. Eventually, silver shipments slowed. Mines declined. Pirates attacked ships. Wars disrupted trade. And suddenly Spain faced a brutal truth. They couldn't feed themselves efficiently. They couldn't build competitively. They couldn't innovate fast enough. The money stopped, and there was nothing underneath to hold the empire up. Let's put this into today's world, a modern example everyone can actually relate to. Imagine a person who earns easy money, maybe family wealth, a viral business, a high-paying job that doesn't require real skill growth. At first, life feels amazing. They stop learning new skills. They stop improving themselves. They stop doing hard work. Why struggle when money keeps coming? So instead, food is ordered, not cooked. Things are bought, not built. Problems are avoided, not solved. Life becomes about spending, not creating. Now imagine one day the money slows. The job is gone. The business fails. The inheritance runs out. And suddenly, they don't know how to earn again. They don't know how to adapt. They don't know how to rebuild. Not because they're lazy, but because they forgot how to produce value. But the real takeaway? The core lesson that affects every single one of us. Money is not power. Skills are power. As long as you can create something useful, you can survive anything. But once you rely only on incoming money, your strength is already gone. And now, we've reached the final stage, Stage 5. The point where everything starts to show its cracks. Stage 5, social decay. Economic collapse always becomes social collapse. Crime rose. Beggars filled major cities. Public trust disappeared. The most dangerous loss? Talent. Engineers, traders, thinkers, Builders. They left. They went to countries that rewarded work and innovation. Spain was left with bureaucrats, soldiers, clergy, people who consumed wealth but didn't create it. This is the final warning sign. When the most capable people leave, recovery becomes nearly impossible. So what's the outcome? Here's the result that everyone should see coming. Within 100 years, Spain went from world ruler, global currency issuer, military superpower, to economically irrelevant, politically weakened, permanently sidelined. And here's the most important lesson. Spain didn't collapse because of one bad decision. It collapsed because each stage made the next one inevitable. That's why this pattern matters. Once an empire reaches stage 5, history says it rarely turns back. Spain didn't build large armies because it wanted to. Spain built large armies because it no longer knew how to grow without force. And once force becomes your business model, history has already decided the ending. Now the big question, which empire came after Spain? And how did they claim global dominance? After Spain declined, Britain rose. Not by accident, by doing almost the opposite of Spain at the right moment. So, how did Britain replace Spain? Step by step, we'll uncover the story of empire building like you've never heard it before. Spain had money, Britain built systems. Spain believed, we have silver, we are rich. Britain believed, money is useless without production. So Britain focused on shipbuilding, textiles, steel, banking, insurance, trade networks. Key difference is, Spain imported everything. Britain made everything. A real-life example. Spain was like someone living off lottery winnings. Britain was like someone building a business. Spain spent on wars. Britain spent on trade. Spain fought wars everywhere. Britain fought wars only when trade was threatened. Britain's navy wasn't just military. It was a global delivery system. Protect shipping routes. Control choke points. Enable merchants. Lesson is, Britain didn't conquer land first. It conquered trade first. A real-life example. Spain bought weapons to feel powerful. Britain bought tools to make money. Spain debased currency. Britain built trust. Spain diluted silver coins. People stopped trusting Spanish money. Britain did the opposite. Gold-backed pound. Strong central banking. Rule of law. Contract enforcement. That's how the pound sterling became the world's money. Important rule of history. The empire with the most trusted currency eventually wins. Spain looked down on work. Britain worshipped it. In Spain, nobles avoided labor. Work was low status. Rent-seeking was normal. In Britain, merchants became elites. Engineers were respected. Innovation was rewarded. Factories replaced silver ships. This is huge. Empires don't rise on pride. They rise on incentives. Spain lost talent. Britain attracted it. As Spain decayed, talent left Spain. Capital fled Spain. Ideas moved elsewhere. Britain absorbed. Dutch bankers, European engineers, global traders. London became the brain of the world. Life example. When a company becomes toxic, the best employees leave. Another company benefits, without trying. When did Britain fully replace Spain? The decisive moment was 1815. Napoleon defeated. British Navy uncontested. Industrial Revolution in full force. Pound equals global reserve currency. From that moment, the sun never set on the British Empire. Spain was no longer even a competitor. Empires don't fall because someone attacks them. They fall because someone else learns from their mistakes faster. Spain didn't lose to Britain in a single war. Spain lost because Britain understood something Spain forgot. Money is not power. Production plus trust plus discipline is. Want to see how Britain rose to replace Spain and whether the empire truly became unstoppable? This is just part 1. In part 2, Britain, the empire where the sun never set, we'll uncover how Britain turned production, trade, and trust into unstoppable power. Why some say the sun never truly set on the British Empire, or did it? The critical lessons every empire and every one of us can learn from history's greatest power shift. Don't miss it. Subscribe now and hit the bell because you need to see if Britain's empire was truly permanent or if it was hiding the cracks Spain missed. History waits for no one. Make sure you're ready for part 2.